Grant Miller here at Miami Communities. I'm with, I call him the commissioner of Miami-Dade, but he is the mayor of Sweetwater, Jose Pepe Diaz. And it's always a pleasure. You do so many great things. You know, I look at Sweetwater, and you look at it as West Dade. You don't think of Sweetwater. What Sweetwater is doing now is making it all of West Dade. Speak about that. The police department is rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it is.
I remember Sweetwater used to have 3 or 4 cops, right? It was little.
A couple more than that, but yeah, it was a little amount.
And now how many do you have?
Right now, we're right about 72, if I'm not mistaken, and we're growing even further.
Square footage, square miles, how big Sweetwater are?
Right now, we're 4.3 square miles, and we were at one time 0.8 of a mile.
Wow.
So we've grown, we've annexed in, and before we keep going, thank you for having me on the show, my dear friend, as always.
Dolphin Mall is now under you guys' watch. It's unbelievable. How many tourists do you know have these numbers? You go there, and you go, oh, there's no parking. There's plenty of parking. You just got to go to the right spot. But it's just, Dolphin Mall has so much electricity.
It is, and you know what? It's actually incredible the way my chief, along with the other chiefs in our police department, has actually a year ago when the season came up before, they went ahead and analyzed the situation, and they met with all the merchants, they met with the owners of the mall, everybody, and they actually devised a plan to make it extremely safe to shop at Dolphin Mall. And not only is it our police, it's the drones, it's all the types of vehicles and everything and things I can't even get into, but it's also that the stores themselves and their security is working with them. So when you go to Dolphin Mall, you're going to a very safe mall to be able to, and I'm very proud of that, and it comes from a lot of hard work.
Dolphin Mall is, everybody thinks it's retail, but the eating establishment, the entertainment center is unbelievable. I know you have a movie theater. I know you have Dave & Buster's. The bowling alley, I don't even know what it's called. It's a bowling alley.
Yeah, bowling alley, and we got several restaurants, and now we have even a cowboy bar there too.
What's that called?
That's a BR, I believe, and they're getting full on the weekends, and you know what? It's actually pretty nice, that commercial in that area, because before there really wasn't nothing on the west side there in the middle of Dade County.
You also have where you had your state of address. What restaurant is that called?
Sports Social.
Holy cow! Do
you see the amount of screens they have in that place?
It's unbelievable. No, you also have, is Twin Peaks in your district?
They're very close to us, but they're in Doral.
Yeah, that street. What is that? 97th, 80th?
It was on 87th.
It is busy. The whole area has become a great entertainment center for, Sweetwater and part of Doral. Yeah. We call Doral part of Sweetwater.
Well, yeah, we were older than them, and right. I actually helped create Doral. So
yes,
yes, you're
okay,
right.
I was out at, I was at FIU, and the old Brown Bridge, the original bridge, is redone. It's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
When did you redo that?
The bridge, we did it actually when we heard what was going on and how fast they were coming in to try to start working and building the new pedestrian bridge from the one that fell. They said that they're going to have to start in October 8th, I think was the first deadline. So we only had about 3.5 weeks. And I got my crews out there, basically overtime and everything, and they picked up all the rotten wood on the old bridge.
The original bridge.
The original bridge, yes. The 109 original bridge. And it's, by the way, it's a historic bridge, and it's classified like that in the state of Florida. And we had to redo almost all the wood. Some wood had to stay from the original wood of the bridge to continue its historic value. But we did it. We painted it. We got it ready. And we did it in record time, 3.5 weeks.
I know we talked about it before. The numbers of students that live in Sweetwater must be overwhelming. I mean, you get these big apartments, but there's so many of them living in efficiencies. It's exciting when you go by. It's just all these young people are pouring over to FIU. It must be a great feeling.
It is a great feeling, and it's actually very interesting, something that we thought about many, many years ago. And here I am sitting with you, Grant, and talking about reality that has taken place. And it's not just one or two buildings, it's several buildings for student housing. Besides that, you said it well, efficiencies, apartments, duplexes, quadplexes that have students in them, and homes too.
You had a big event last week or 2 weeks ago. I call it Veterans event, but what was it exactly?
It was Valor Fest, but it is a veterans. A thank you to our veterans that we did in the city of Sweetwater. Something that I've been dreaming about for many years to do. Basically, we have Memorial Day, and Memorial Day is more of a somber day. That we got to remember those that gave their maximum sacrifice to our great country. But we have some events, but I wanted to do a massive event, to a festival, to street festivals, to say thank you to our veterans, and those are active personnel, and some of the future ones coming into to the military. So we did this great event, and it was an awe. I mean, it was great flyovers, people coming parachute with a flag.
Wow,
a helicopter landed in the middle of the street, a little mini bird, an operational bird, and it just we had the American flag, the big American flag that Dade County, huge, the holiday flag with the two fire trucks holding them up, and the most of all that we had a lot of veterans there, and they were very happy and thankful.
You're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
Which Air Force? Not Air Force. I didn't mean to say that.
No.
What branch?
All right, Grant.
What branch?
Marine Corps.
Didn't have a Marine Corps event Saturday?
Yes, sir, we did. It was the ball. Unfortunately, I could not make it. I had something else in the city that I was addressing and dealing with. But it was the first ball I missed, by the way. And but the Marine Corps birthday was the day before Valor Fest, which was the 10th of November. And to all those Marines out there, delayed, happy birthday. But it gives me great pleasure to be a veteran too.
You know, all the different branches, but the Marines have a thing. They say, "Hurrah!" What is that? What is that?
Our saying is basically it's a conversation between us, and when we do something right, it's what we do. The Army has theirs, the Navy has theirs. Everybody's got their
they
little.
All have their own, but
their own little bark. Yes.
Yeah, but when the Air Force, sorry,
we'll go there. You're going to get a lot of calls.
When the Marines do it, it's like you feel it.
Yes, sir.
It's exciting. Well,
yes, sir.
Speak about that. You had to miss your ball, the trailer park. I'm sure this is weighing down the whole city and everybody around it. Want to get some details about exactly what happened, because I read about it, I see it, and there's three sides to the story. So let's get as close as we can.
And then the truth.
Right.
You know, it's look, as close as I could get to it straight out, is that this is something that's been happening for a very long time. As far as I can remember, I mean, I was back then an auxiliary police officer back in the day, way back.
How many years was that?
Oh, it was back there.
Okay.
So with that said and done, even back then they were talking about eventually that trailer park being sold the other one was called Blue Lakes Trailer Park. It was sold off of Flagler and 102 area right there. And once that was sold, immediately after that, they said the other one was eventually going to be sold. And after this new law, the Live Local law that was put in, I knew it wasn't going to be long before they would sell something like that, because of the property's value will go through the roof. And it's 100 acres. There. 100 acres is Little Abner Trailer Park.
That's huge.
That is, yes, very huge. In the middle of Dade County, on the west end.
Wait, and how many citizens live there?
That's a good question. We calculate approximately anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 citizens, people
how many trailers?
900 trailers.
That means 900.
It could be more people there.
Yeah, but 900 families.
900. Let's just say if you had one per trailer, it would be 900 families. But it's not, and we know that.
Wait, it's 900 families have to move and lose their shelter.
Yeah,
because those it's a trailer, but there's no wheels, and it's been there for a long time. They can't move that.
And some of them have been not only there for a long time, some of them have just become basically a house. They've added to the inside. They've added more
Well,
rooms.
They put the wood around the house.
They put the wood
makes it look
around.
beautiful.
Yeah. And look, some of them are very nice, and it's really the only affordable housing left out there. But some of them are rented out. Not from the owner rents the pad, which is the owner of the land,
right?
And then the trailer is owned by whoever's renting that land. Now there is sometimes 2 to 3, and I've heard cases of 4 families living in one trailer to make ends meet. I met one lady; she was paying $1,200, I believe she said to me, for one room in the trailer this morning, and she's been asked to leave by January 31st. And it's heartbreaking because there's a lot of people that are just trying to live the American dream, and in the holidays to be told to just get up and leave, it is very, very difficult. So we're dealing with it in every aspect that we can as a government, and we're very blessed. I reached out to Commissioner of the District, J.C. Bermudez, and I also reached out to Mayor Cava, which answered immediately, and she has been working, and she put the Director of Housing for Dade County to work with us to help try to find solutions. And of course, my commissioners in the city. They have all stepped up, and we're all trying to find different avenues. So much so that we opened, because it's very difficult to deal with people that are very upset because they have nowhere to go, and they have families and sick elderly too. And you're the mayor, like they say, you're the mayor. You got to make this happen. And I try to explain that's private property, and we all tried that, but we're beyond that. I got to try to find some solutions. So opening this
for 900 families, and it could be up to 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Yes.
Because there's, to explain again, the landlord owns the land.
Correct.
Those people rented a spot on that man's land or person's land.
The easiest way of saying it is the owner owns the plats, and the pad in itself, where you could put a trailer, an RV type vehicle. So that person that comes and puts that there, he owns the RV, obviously. So at this particular case, some of those trailers, RVs, have been now put and grown to the point where they're not movable. And I would say about 90% of the trailers there are not
devastating.
movable.
That's
it is devastating. And now these people, and some of them have come, and Diaz bought their trailers. I think the latest person we talked to was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. They paid a lot of money for their trailer.
It was like $100,000.
Yes, I think it was over.
Okay, but let's just say 100,000. They put it. They didn't realize. They just bought a spot that they have to rent.
They say, and it's my understanding that they went and they got an approval from the ownership of the park. But the approval is for just that you're buying that person's trailer.
Right.
Nothing to do with the property.
Because then you have to sign a lease to rent the.
And I don't even know if there is leases between them.
I'm saying they have to sign something to the person to use the pad, correct? Some agreement, some type of.
That's between him and the trailer park, them and the trailer park owner.
It's devastating thinking about not just the holidays, but some of these people have been there 20, 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah, and we met with one in the resource center that we opened up to try to get all these organizations. I'll tell you in a minute. That person, the devastation in his face as a father with 2 younger children, right, that has nowhere to go, and he was one of those. I think he said 6 months ago, he bought it for several, thousands of dollars. All he wants, he understands he's going to lose everything. He's from another country, and he's just trying, at this point, figure out where am I going to go with my family to survive. When my kids are in school, they were doing great in the schools here and stuff. And people are frustrated, and it breaks your heart. I mean, it really does. because all you want to do is find a way to help them. But there's also another 2 trailer parks in Dade County that are being evacuated at the same time. After I saw that law, the
Same owners?
no, not that I know of. No,
Okay.
different owners. When I saw that live local law come in on the books in the state, I get it. I get what they try to do. They try to make more workforce housing and affordable housing, but that's also opened up Pandora's box for people to come in and develop. And trailer parks, I think, are going to be a thing of the past, at least down in South Florida, because the property values are so much money that they could get so much more money putting in an apartment building there and get so much more use out of it than having a trailer with, at least grass all around it.
Right.
So this is a change in today's world, especially in Dade County, and it's not a good change in some portion for a lot of people, and others they welcome the change because of development and growth and improvement, and that's the dilemma that we're in, and it's going to happen to all those cities out there that have trailer parks in them. Eventually, I think this is going to catch up with everybody.
I remember when Pinecrest was incorporating.
So do I. Yeah.
And they had a trailer park, 124th Street in US 1, huge.
You're right. I remember that.
There.
Yeah.
There's a park there, and they had the owner of the park, the trailer park, had to hook up to the sewage system. It was going to cost $500,000 25 years ago, and I just remember seeing these people have to move. It was heartbreaking. And what you're going through, you're talking about, I guarantee it could be 4,500 people to 5,000 people their lives are being turned upside down.
And it's hard. We ask for a lot of patience and a lot of wisdom upstairs. The old man and God that, it gives us the wisdom to be able to try to help them. Look, in this resource center that we came across, we have the United States Social Security Administration, we have the Florida Department of Children and Families, we have Miami-Dade Homeless Trust, Miami-Dade Public Housing and Community Development, we have Camilla's House, we have Catholic Charities, we have a group by the name of Hermanos a la Calle for recent arrivals, which there's a lot of them in the trailer park too.
They're staying with family members.
Correct, but now they're living there.
Right, right. And what do they do?
And that's part of the resource center, that this is what we could do to be within the law, because that owner of that trailer park has property rights too, and he, we cannot frown upon those property rights. If these people gather, they get a lawyer, they do whatever, that's the right in our country that the law be represented. But if the persons follow the law, then this is a matter of just trying to help the people as best as possible. As best as possible, I think, is the role that Sweetwater has right now.
Wow. All right, let's change some subject. Let's talk about some great things Sweetwater do. You're redoing your park?
Oh yeah, the parks have been redone. It's hard to switch from something like this to something.
The whole world, I can feel the world. I feel in my chest this thing. But Sweetwater's doing so many things. This has nothing to do with Sweetwater, but you're trying to help the people as best as you can.
Well, it does in a way, because it's in the city, and it is the people, it is residents. But you're right, it's a private property with an owner doing the decision that he's doing. All we could do is try to help these people. But in that part too, the parks that we're redoing, it's going to be a fully athletic field.
Multi-purpose,
and it's going to have soccer, it's going to have baseball, flag, football.
The big question is, has Sweetwater built a pickleball court yet? That's the big question in Dade County. Every city is getting pounded. Pickleball.
I got 4 courts. Actually,
wow.
By the end of the week, they should be done. another 4 courts that are being developed as we speak.
Pickleball.
Pickleball, and two more courts in another park. So that puts us at 10 courts in the
That's a
city
lot.
of Sweetwater. Hey, our residents are asking for it, and it even gets worse. My own daughter, if she's going to see this, obviously she will, she also got on my case and said, Dad, pickleball is the way to go.
I'm not a big fan of pickleball because
Have you played it?
Yeah, I am going to play it.
Well, at
very
least you're
little.
one up on me.
No, I played 2 games. I'll never play again because I know I'm going to get hurt. I know I'm going to get hurt.
You're going to die for that
Yeah,
plastic ball.
I'm not going to die. I'm not going to do that. I'll play ping pong, but it's
like a version of ping pong and tennis, right?
But it's exciting because your crowd of Sweetwater is not people think it's 65, 70. No, your age is dropping.
Oh, let me tell you something. People are asking us, when are these going to open? And it's not just an older crowd. No, it's a young crowd too.
Right.
So, I mean, my daughter and her friends, it got personal when my own daughter is telling me, hey, Dad, what about those courts? When are they going to open?
Get hip, Dad. Get people. Okay, so you got a lot of great things at Sweetwater.
Yes, sir.
It's the fastest growing town around. Remember, the way I look at it, you're only as good as your neighbors. And you're growing and getting stronger and be more police. People come to this is how I look at when people move to towns. They first move into a town, they want to know, are there good police?
Yes, sir.
That's the first question people want. Wherever they're moving out of town.
Protection is very important.
Then they go, the parks.
Yes, sir.
They want to know, and then last but not least is public schools. But even though cities aren't in charge of public schools, I'm sure you have police officers out there.
Yes, sir. They work together with the school board, police, and we all work together. The cities around and Miami-Dade too works very close with our officers.
You have a lot of schools in Sweetwater.
Well, we have higher education schools,
right?
And I started with FIU.
But you have other colleges there too, right?
Yes, we do, and we have also vocational schools, but we only have, as far as a public school, we only have Sweetwater Elementary, and which my daughters went to, and very proud of the school, and we help with the principal there on everything. We have a great relationship, great person, and education, like you said, is fundamental for people that when they're living someplace or they want to go. Is it a public school, and is it a great school? We want to go there.
So a lot of great things are happening in Sweetwater. The trailer park, it's going to take a long time, but if the city's working together with all the agencies, hopefully some people can be happy or get happier.
Well, we're trying to solve some problems going back to the trailer park. The owner is giving them to this January 31st for the people that own trailers to move out, and he's giving them $14,000 plus a couple of thousand more for the trailer itself or whatever. So there, even though it's really not enough in today's world to do something, but it's something other people haven't done, from what I understand, in other places. But no matter how you look at this, Grant, no matter how you got it, it's before the holidays. These people are devastated, and it's very difficult. And even though we're doing great things in the city, and we'll continue to do great things with God's help, it is something that has taken the focus off a lot of things to just help these people as much as we can, and that's the main focus, and especially during these holiday periods. It's very sad for so many.
It's tough times. Well, everybody, Grant Miller here with the mayor of Sweetwater.